At first, I wasn't really looking at retail, but we got the cost down to the point where wholesale is going to be just fine. So more retail. You got to come to Lucky's Market and check it out. It's so cool. It's a good feeling to see it on the shelf.
Oh, there he is. He does
Hey,
exist.
I'm alive.
Hey, so what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Gonna head
Yeah, why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know what you're up to?
All right, well, I'm Darryl Ragland with Vegan Jus LLC, and we currently make vegan dips, dressings, sauces, and spreads. So typically from ranch, and we're gonna be with Alfredo sauce. But right now we're starting out with the cheese, and it's OGeez Cheez. So we got regular, then we got kicking with a little spice into it. So this,
Oh, you made the kick in.
yeah, that's the kicking one.
I gotta come get me some. That wasn't available.
It was sold out. We went to Lucky's Market and we sold out in about like 3 hours. It was pretty awesome. So that's there. Just restocked it and everything like that. So we're about to head back in there later today to hopefully sell out again. So getting pretty excited.
Nice. Yeah, so I don't remember how long ago it was, but you like hit me up randomly out of the blue. I'm like, holy crap, I haven't talked to this guy in so long. And you're like, hey, I got a business idea I want to bounce off you. I'm like, okay, cool. And like I've been down this rodeo plenty of times. Like everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to talk shop, but then they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of gave you my ideas of what next steps were. Didn't hear from you again for a couple months, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, can we meet back up? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then you're like, I have a product I'm ready to go to market. I'm like, holy crap! Like, that
That's the
was fast.
that's the thing about me. Once I set my mind to something, it's done. It's done already. So it's already out here. We're ready to go.
So, so you're in the food space, right?
Yeah.
And what was it like having this idea and then having to run through different variations and all the different challenges to actually have a product that you can take to market that was met all the codes? Because I know food's got all these extra rules. To where me,
Like,
I sell books,
mhm.
so like there's no rules. It's just put it online.
Exactly. Yeah, for us, it started off, it was a slow process. We had to get the money together at first, trying to get everything, situated. And then first was finding the kitchen that we'd cook at. And it was a launch kitchen. It's called a Cleveland Culinary Launch Kitchen. They're right downtown by CSU. And they'll walk you through the process a little bit. They kind of have their set ways because they want you to just, I feel like they have set things where they're already set, and we kind of went outside the box and did our own thing a little bit. But they give you like the structure and what you need to do, and then it's your job to find the cheapest options or the smarter options and stuff like that. So it it's a process because you want to go through the Department of Agriculture, you want to go through um, you want to find out where what you're going to be holding the food in. There's a lot of things that you're gonna have to take step by step, but you have to make sure you hit step and get approved and get the kitchen right and get the licensing and LLC and stuff like that. So it's first I would say if you're in the food, just go to somebody that already knows exactly how to get you started, and they can give you the steps because that's the biggest part is finding step by step.
Yeah, and you're telling me there isn't even really a good like online instruction to figure out like what's next, how to do next.
Hmm.
It's kind of like you said, reach out to somebody who's already done it, and then hopefully make something of it.
Yeah, do something that we didn't do because we had to figure it all out almost. I mean, the kitchen helped a little bit, but they are kind of into their options, and their options are typically more expensive because they're just like pumping out people and trying to get the machine rolling. So with us, we had to do the trials and errors where we're going for expensive, and we're like, no, we got to find a better option and kind of get gypped here and there. But we figured it out. It took us time.
So what's probably your biggest takeaway from starting a business from complete idea and then taking it to the where you're at now, pretty much on your own, right? Like we had a couple conversations.
Hmm.
You have a business partner who's more remote, so
Hmm.
like you really had to lean on yourself.
Exactly.
Like, how do you get through that? Because I'm sure even like you tell your family, hey, I know I've had a day job my entire life, but I decided I'm gonna do something on my own now.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the biggest takeaway for me would be just put the work in for me because I didn't when I first started. there's a lot of work that goes into it that, you know, you would think that, oh, I'm just gonna have to call, make some phone calls. No, you actually have to hit the ground running. You got to talk to people. You have to, you know, make sure you're hitting the right channels, and you got to actually go to places and fill out the applications and, you know, step by step. So you have to actually put in the legwork, and instead of just, you know, making phone calls and, you know, Googling, you actually have to go out there. So that's my biggest thing. Get out there.
Now, how many different variations of the recipe do you think you went through before you had a product?
I I would say about like 15, 20 different recipes. At first, it was, you know, a little like too thick, and then you had to get it to the right consistency. Then with the Department of Agriculture, they want you to have your acidity right. So then you got to add, you know, the right things to it, and then you want to make sure it's all natural because I wanted to keep my product, you know, safe and not trying to add to it or not trying to add extras to it. So I typically everything was all natural. So that took its own little time and it's to make it that way. But now I'm happy. I'm happy with it though. So it was
So,
worth
what do
it.
you have planned for the company for 2019? I know this year was about getting it up and running and seeing what it
Mhm.
could do. You've had some quick wins and successes here and there.
Yeah. For me, typically it's just more retail. I mean, at first I wasn't really looking at retail, but you know, we got the cost down to the point where, you know, wholesale is going to be just fine. So more retail. We're in the Lucky's Market, Miles Market as well, Urban Bulk Foods. You know, just trying to build a little head of steam. So then, once the money is coming from, you know, each and every, you know, store or every one here, we can, you know, add to the business. And the biggest plan actually is Veg Fest, because Veg Fest is where we're going to be getting all the vegan customers and all the, you know, veggie lovers, and we're going to sell out there, and that's in May. So
So, when and where is that?
that's in May, downtown Cleveland at the Huntington Bank Convention Center, I believe. And I already got the invite to that. So once that's ready, it's going to be hitting the ground running.
Make sure you give me a date and time because I'll be there with you.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And definitely, you got to come to Lucky's Market and check it out. It's so cool. It's a good feeling to see it on the shelf. Right.
Hey, if I'm coming to Lucky's, you guys hide one for me
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try.
because that was the first thing I told you when I tried it. I'm like, this is great. I really want spicy,
Yeah.
and you want spicy, and I didn't know about it. Feels bad. Feels bad. But yeah. So for anybody who's curious about it, I've tried it. I'm not vegan. I'm nowhere near vegan. If you check out my Instagram page, I eat steak once a week. So, but the flavor is ridiculous. Like I think it tastes better than traditional mac and cheese when you use it in a mac and cheese. I've used it as a bread spread as well. So, just from a flavor profile perspective, you're not going to beat it for at least those two things because that's what I've tried.
Yeah.
Um, so, like, unless you like that really, to me, gross, creamy mac and cheese that you have to like peel the noodles apart because it's so dang thick because they use all that cheese in it, it's not even comparable.
Yeah.
So, don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
and hey, I'm just being honest,
Yeah.
man. I really like the stuff. Now that I'm home, I can go get me some more.
Yeah.
And then you ship too, still, right?
Yep. 2 to 3 business days. Ship anytime. So typically for Monday we ship, and then usually the cutoff day is like Thursday for it to be the next week, but it'll be there 2, 3 days. So it's pretty awesome.
Okay, cool. So what do you think your next biggest challenge is with the business? Because you've got a couple of retail locations, you got a little bit of attention around the area.
Hmm.
What's the next big hurdle you got to figure out?
Um, Really just keep growing. I just got to figure out how to keep growing every day. Every time I gotta adapt to, you know, the adding more to social media, and just every day just challenge myself to do something new and grow. And that's all I'm just trying to do. Make this business grow into where, you know, I can wouldn't have to worry about, you know, working or, you know, working the 9 to 5. Not typically like that's my only thing, but I do want to be able to provide for myself and also my community. I'm just excited to be able to, you know, donate and to where I grew up, and, you know, make sure everything's, you know, good. I'm just excited.
Nah, man, I'm excited for you.
Mm,
It's it's been really cool to kind of see where you come, like how far you've taken it already.
yeah.
Because, like I said, most people they like to talk, but they don't do the walk. So
Mm,
it was really cool to see that kind of come to fruition.
yeah.
Now, why don't you tell real quick, since we got about 4 minutes, a little bit about like your transition to vegan and what all that's done for you and everything.
Okay. Well, at first I decided to go vegan for my health, and then as it go, I did like a little 30-day challenge to challenge myself to see if I could do it. And then after I did it, I just fell in love with it. It stuck, and then my body reacted. Everything felt lighter. I started feeling better. A lot of stuff started going away. My heart was. I'm not saying I had heart problems, but every once in a while my heart would do like a little jump, little jumpy thing every once. But
Playing
now,
hopscotch.
yeah, now it's all good. I'm feeling better. I play basketball a lot, and typically that it's a lot more fun for me now because I'm just running around back and forth on the court. And but at first it started with the 30-day challenge, and then I ended up losing. I went from 265 to 185, and I lost all that weight. And then I had to figure out how to gain muscle, and then I started falling in love with the cooking part of it. And then I started adding more protein to my diet and more carbs to my diet, and adding playing with recipes and making. And the cheese really helped me a lot. The cheese is very high in protein content and low in calories, so typically when I work out, I can like eat a bunch of it and then just completely recover from my workout the next day and not look, feeling bloated or anything like that. So, and then after that, it just keep all, for the love of animals. I've always loved animals. I have two dogs, and I always had animals around me, and it just didn't feel right, you know, especially when you see what goes on behind the scenes, it didn't feel right, what I was doing. So typically, it's pretty sad back there when the animals are encaged and they're in a dark room and they can't move because they're just feeding them food and tossing them in there and just it's it's a bad scene, but I don't want to go too much into that. But it feels good to not participate in that and also to help other people because with me, a lot of people went vegan hearing after I went vegan and seeing my change. So it's also good to spread the word about it and have less people contributing to it. So it's a good feeling.
So, so if people are looking to maybe make the switch,
Mm.
or at least maybe not fully, but for even a short term basis, where's a good place for them to get information about what vegan is, the type of lifestyle changes you make, and how you kind of restructure things?
Mm.
Because I know like one of the challenges that we talked about a little bit, and then other people like going to places that actually have vegan foods. Like, is there a lot of chains that have opportunities for you guys to eat, or
If you wanted to just get the quick bite, I definitely would go to Taco Bell. Taco Bell would do it because they have you literally go up there and then you say anything you would want and you just order it fresco. And when they say fresco, they automatically take all the cheese and all the meat out of it. So you want a Crunch Wrap Supreme or a Crunch Wrap, just say fresco, and they'll take it all out and they'll just be like beans, wrapped with whatever like lettuce and rice and tomatoes and I mean it'll fill you up, but typically I would say come to me and talk to me, and I would, take you through all the recipes. You can eat for like $20. You go to Giant Eagle, get some pasta. You get even pick up the cheese. You get a couple things together. You can feed your whole family for like under $20. So it's actually not as expensive too. A lot of people think it's very costly, but it's not. It's you can literally go to the grocery store, feed your family, and it's just spend very minimal. It's so I would say also hit me up at Chef Ragland and DM me, and I'll tell you whatever you need to know, and I'll make sure I help anyone out. So I love helping everybody and helping the transition. So I have no problem with telling people about the diet and how to start.
so where can everybody find you on the internet so that way
Okay.
they know? And then I can also put all the links in the podcast when the audio gets published next week.
Okay. Well, right now I'm at Chef underscore Ragland, Ragland, and then that's my personal page and personal business page, and then the business page is vegan underscore Jus, and that's where you find all the recipes and the best pictures of the cheese, and also where you can find out where to get the cheese. And I think that's about it. Twitter, Vegan Jus, Twitter/Vegan Jus, and Pinterest/Vegan Jus, and everything. Just type in Vegan Jus, you'll find me.
Yeah. All right, man. Perfect. I appreciate you being a little bit flexible there with the schedule
Hmm.
and coming on to this year's 24-hour podcast marathon.
Yeah.
So can't wait to have you back on. We'll definitely talk more about the vegan lifestyle and kind of some of the actual lifestyle changes that helped you with.
Hmm.
So thank you again, and we'll be chatting soon.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. It's awesome. You're a great interviewer. That was awesome.